is going on, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of the Legislative Director talking about legislative things. She's here, ready for a fresh new session and a fresh new season. Legislative Director Ambre Marr. With her, as always, less fresh, less ready. Not the Legislative Director, Jason Thompson. Ambre, this has been so long since we've done this. I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't know what to do at all.
I don't know what to do here.
Well, I'll tell you what has stayed the same.
What's that?
You still have no notes.
I still have no notes
Because
because that's never going to change. I can guarantee one thing about this show, however long it lasts, is that I will never have notes.
We'll never say never.
That's true. Generally, I will not have notes.
It is a new year.
It is a new year, but not a new me. So we're gonna just keep it rolling. Let's run it back. So look, we've been gone a long time. And I apologize for that.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of changes that have taken place.
You mean like in life or at AARP Indiana?
AARP Indiana,
what are we talking
life,
about
the seasons have changed a couple of times over since we've done this show. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But I appreciate those of you who have stuck with us and those of you that will be pleasantly surprised when this shows up in your podcast feed because you thought the show was over. It's not. We're still here. We took some time off, as we generally do in the summer.
Yeah.
We try to say that we're going to come back, and then we get busy doing other things.
I think in the new year, we're going to try to be more transparent.
Yeah.
So when session's done, if we're going to just disappear, we're just going to tell you we're disappearing.
Yeah, we're going away for a while.
Instead of being like, we'll be back.
And then we
never come back.
Never come back. But we are back now because guess what? It is a new year. It is a new session of the Indiana General Assembly. We have a new governor coming in. Look, there's a lot that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It is a long session, which means it goes longer than the last session. It goes till the end of April rather than the middle of March. So yeah, it's just lots going on.
They have already said though that they want to end early.
They say that every year, and sometimes it happens.
It's only
sometimes it doesn't.
Well, I know we don't normally say when we're recording these, but this is only the second day of session today.
Yes.
And I believe I got the fact that they wanted to end early before the first day of session.
This is very true. So we're recording this on a Thursday.
Yes.
The first day of session was yesterday, which was Wednesday for those of you keeping score at home and know your days of the week. But it was the first day of session, and yet you already testified in committee.
Which I have to give kudos to another individual that testified yesterday that also said this. Because I think in the email to our legislative team, I said that was the first time, I think in all of my 20 years in my career, that I had testified on the first day of session. And someone else said that yesterday during their testimony. And so I mean, I didn't say it during my testimony, but they did, and I had said it in an email. It was record breaking.
It's record breaking, which is also record breaking. Is how long you been? You say 20 years? You've been at this game?
I didn't mean to say the number.
What? Secret's out.
I didn't mean to say the number. Oh, yeah. It has been 20 years.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Should I say
She's like, thank you?
I don't know. I don't know how it's been that long.
Well, look, you're doing great. And we appreciate you here at AARP and just out in the world. People appreciate you for the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
So let's talk about, it was the first day of session.
Yes, yesterday.
Yesterday. There was a committee on the first day of session, which was yesterday.
Upon adjournment.
Upon adjournment of the Senate. Okay.
Yes.
Tell us, let's get into it.
Okay.
What's the committee and the bill, and talk about it, and then we'll just talk a little bit more about what's going to happen this upcoming session.
Maybe give the lay of the land.
Yeah. Let's get that first bill out of the way, though.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Because we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we have so much to talk about.
But maybe not all in this one episode.
Look, we've been out of this a minute. We need to, ease our way back into this. So we're not going to give you all the goods right away.
If we were going to mirror the legislature, there's no easing back in.
We'll just dive right in.
Yeah.
Well,
it's like having a committee meeting on the first day of session.
Well, that's true.
So let's just get into it.
Let's talk about it.
All right, Senate Bill 142.
Senate Bill 142,
yes.
which was, it says eviction issues.
We can't
eviction issues.
Yes.
We're going to make sure I get that worked out because we're going to say that a couple more times.
It's a handful.
Yeah.
Handful, a mouthful.
Look, it's a full of something. It's good to be back. This is great.
I don't know.
This is great.
Okay.
Amber, tell us about
Let's start
this
over.
bill.
And here we go. So Senate Bill 142, eviction issues. It's actually Senator Liz Brown is the author of the bill, and it deals with exactly what it says, eviction issues. So basically what this bill does is I have to get my notes out. It provides that a court shall order an expungement in a qualifying eviction case, because as of right now, under the current law, a tenant actually has to request the expungement. So they have to go to the court themselves and request that expungement. What this bill would do is, in certain circumstances, it would just be automatically applied to an eviction.
So why would this is good? Obviously, we testified in support of it, so we think it's good. Why is this a good thing?
Well, it's a really great thing in several aspects. One, a lot of people think that this would bog down the court more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when you look at it from the perspective of, oftentimes, if every single individual is filing for an expungement of their eviction, that is like literally hundreds of eviction cases that they have to expunge. Versus here, if a tenant has paid their judgment and it can be removed, that would automatically just happen. So then the court wouldn't be piling up all of these eviction sealing requests. I think it was brought up in testimony that in most courts, there is a specific day where they only hear evictions. And sometimes multiple days of only eviction hearings. And so, and that deals with obviously the eviction itself, but then requests for the expungement or sealing of the eviction. So there's that perspective. It's also the fact that it will free up some of the attorneys that are helping these individuals file these sealing requests, because we're also in an attorney shortage. So, I mean, there's lots of things that will be helpful. Having this automatic, it will also help the individual be able to find housing quicker and not have that instability with that eviction on their record. So.
Awesome, because Indiana is not great when it comes to evictions.
No, actually, we had numbers hot off the press from AARP and Statista, the analysis of the Census Bureau data, which was an estimated 347,458 older adults aged 55 plus are expected to be evicted in the country during 2025. But according to the same data for Indiana, an estimated 7,911 older adults aged 55 plus are expected to be evicted in 2025.
So the idea is that 7 years from now, or whenever that, I think that's what it is, like 7 years from now.
It says if the tenant has paid their judgment, or if it has reached 7 years, it would be an automatic expungement or sealing of the record. And obviously, we know that evictions can force people to live in unsafe housing and cause homelessness and all of this other stuff. So having this eviction sealed so the public cannot view it would be very helpful as they move forward to try to find additional housing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
and I don't know if I already said this, because it is an important point. Sealing of evictions does not actually prevent them.
Yeah.
So like this bill doesn't prevent evictions or other things. Obviously, that is another conversation for another day, because we have a lot of feelings on just evictions in general. But this particular bill is a step in the right direction, helping that individual that has an eviction on their record to be able to move forward.
Okay. Well, good work. First day.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
So we are very grateful for Senator Brown, who is also the chairman of Judiciary, which is where this bill was heard yesterday.
Fantastic. Well, so it didn't get a vote, but next week.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Thank you. It did not. She held the bill. I think she actually held all of the bills.
I think she did.
The last one, I'm not sure because we were outside talking about what we need to change in this one. There's a small change that we need to make as an amendment, but she is hopeful we can get it figured out. We already had a discussion about it. It's with the Land Title Association, and hopefully next week she'll bring it back in judiciary and it will pass.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. Not bad for a first day's work, huh? As they say.
No.
I don't know who's they, but they say it.
But we are grateful. And I think there are going to be other individuals added to the bill. So just stay tuned.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, so that was the first day.
Mm-hmm.
We're already just crushing it with testimony and whatnot. This session, it's a budget year. So there's the writing of the Indiana's 2-year budget that's going to take place, which is going to be its own thing. But what are some of the other things outside of, some of them are connected to the budget, some of them are not, that we are going to be either advocating for or just watching and working on, things of that nature? Because there's a whole raft of issues that we're going to be getting the mix on. Like the first one off the bat,
You could have told me, so I had my list.
Look, the first one off the bat, we'll go easy on this. The first thing is going to be like property taxes.
Yes.
Because we actually have an event coming up on the 22nd. It's a virtual event where we're going to be talking about with some experts and state leaders around property taxes about kind of where we've been and where we're going. Encourage you to go to aarp.org/in to get more information about that. There'll also be a link in there where you can click it and sign up and join us. It's going to be at 10 a.m. on January 22nd.
It's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday morning. So we will join us for that. We're going to be talking about property taxes. There's a lot of action in that area with the incoming Governor Braun. That being one of his priorities. The Senate Majority Caucus just came out with their agenda, and Senate Bill 1 is about property taxes, which is usually Senate Bill 1 is usually reserved for one of the most important bills. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of action around that and doing something to help people with rising property tax bills. What else are some of the things that we're going to be looking at?
Well, oops.
That's okay.
Sorry. I didn't turn my volume up. Okay. It's lower. Okay. So
it's fine.
I know that talking about this, it can be a buzzword. It is a very delicate topic, but it's out there, and Medicaid is going to be discussed very deeply. As most of you know, Senator Mishler has talked about, who is also the chairman of the Appropriations Committee in the Senate, has talked about how Medicaid is rising higher as a percentage of our budget than even the education budget. And the education dollars are usually the largest portion of our budget, and Medicaid is quickly taking that over.
Okay.
So I think the conversation is going to be, how can we curb costs? I don't exactly know what some of the conversation is going to entail. I mean, I have heard and can speculate, but we haven't seen necessarily what that is going to, what is really going to be on the line. I think what will be at the top of the list to discuss is eligibility.
Yeah.
So it's going to be something that we're watching very closely, especially to ensure that, as we all know, maybe we don't all know this, but the population is aging at a rapid pace. So we just have to make sure that older Hoosiers are taken care of, and that there is, if we are going to curb eligibility, that there are other ways that they can get assistance.
Okay.
If it's needed.
So that's going to be kind of the big one with regards to the budget. There's going to be some other things that we may or may not be talking about at some point in time with regards to road funding stuff and all sorts of activity on that.
And why would we be discussing road funding?
I don't know.
That was supposed to be a softball to you.
There's no softballs in this game.
Softball, whatever.
There's no.
Okay.
It's because.
Well, because the public mass transit funding.
There we go. That's where it is. We got there.
For transit.
We got there.
Has been stagnant for many years.
Yes.
And every budget year we try to convince the legislators that public mass transit needs to be increased.
Mm-hmm.
We have been successful in maintaining the amount that it gets, but I think that because, again, the budget, Senator Mishler has said if you ask for more, you're going to get less.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be very delicate on how we ask or specify the reason why the public mass transit funding would need to be increased. Because right now, I think a lot of the discussion around budget items is if you can maintain that budget item, then that's a win.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very important that we are part of the road funding discussion because I think there are going to be other avenues where they're going to be increasing some of that money that's coming in. And so as we are getting some of this funding, it is also a conversation if the public mass transit fund could get some of that increased money from however they're going to restructure the road funding.
Yeah, because that's
tolls.
There's gonna be a whole slew of things that are coming down around that. What else? We got some retirement savings.
So that should be showing up very soon. Senator Becker is our author, and actually, when I spoke with her at the Statehouse this week, I believe that Senator Walker is also going to be joining the bill, and several other folks. So it is a state auto IRA program, and it would be run through the Treasurer's office, and it is essentially to get individuals who do not have access to a retirement savings plan at their workplace to have this option.
Cool.
It is a public-private partnership, so the state treasurer would not necessarily be running the program.
Yeah.
Thank you. It would be by a third party.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay. Well, that's exciting.
These programs obviously make it easy for individuals to save where they are. We know that if you are not offered a retirement savings plan at your workplace, most of the time, individuals do not take part in a retirement plan at all. Yeah. So it would be automatic enrollment with an opt-out. It would have contributions by a payroll deduction. By using IRAs, they're portable from one job to the next, and it's tax advantaged. And then obviously these are simple, inexpensive investments. So it's just a start out for individuals. Obviously, as they build up, they can move out of this retirement plan and use their own just to kind of get their foot in the door. And then obviously it's flexible. So savings, investments, and participation, it's all something that's supposed to be very flexible and easy for folks to get behind. So Senator Becker is going to be carrying that.
That's exciting.
Yeah, very exciting.
So that's, look, that's a lot of stuff that's happening.
Yeah. And just a whole other host of things.
There's like public health funding. There's behavioral health funding.
Yep.
There is...
There's
just so much. I'm just going to stare off into space briefly to think about how much stuff there is.
There's a lot.
We got a lot going on. I'm sure you all have a lot going on. I hope you're all doing well. Hope that you, our listeners and watchers, all had a lovely holiday season. It's okay. Look, I got things.
I touched my microphone.
There's things buzzing. We're going to get back there.
Oh, speaking of budget.
Oh, here we go.
Buzzing. You want to say I didn't mute my computer today? Whose cell phone rang in committee the other day? All of a sudden, ring, ring, ring. Guess who it is?
Yeah, but who was quick and got it like before it even finished ringing the first time?
But talk about...
It was a rookie move. It was a rookie move.
Talk about being rusty.
Super rusty. But
so, yes, my computer wasn't silenced, but neither was your phone yesterday.
We are going to get our game back up, knock this rust off, and really just...
We're gonna try.
This is a big season for us. We've been doing this a long time.
Oh yeah.
You would think.
What season is it?
I think we're at season 8. This is season 8, and we have some big milestones when it comes to episodes coming up. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna try some new things with some new people, guests and whatnot on the show. Hopefully, maybe some new. I don't know, just new things. I feel like I say this every year, but this time I actually made it.
Sorry, I was just...
What are we checking out?
I'm just scrolling through to see if there's any other bills that we needed to bring up
that have dropped,
catch people's attention, because there's we'll get into a lot of other things, but just trying to think. Maybe that kind of covers it all. I mean, it doesn't cover it all, but for
Yeah,
the
I mean,
first one.
there might be some things on the utility front, some
yeah.
bills and things like that, specifically around, these large data centers that are being constructed around the state. They require a lot of power, and how is that going to impact ratepayers and things of that nature? So I think there's going to be some discussions around that. So there's going to be some things on that front that we'll be paying attention to. So stay tuned there. And then we'll see what else rolls through, because there's always something that maybe was not on our bingo card, if you will, that we end up having to spend some time working on.
Oh, I think there also might be some language around mobile integrated health, but I haven't confirmed that yet. But the word on the street is that there might be, so stay tuned.
Look, that is also something that we have to, if you haven't seen it yet, we recorded another video. So if you recall, we recorded a video with our friends in Monticello.
Yes.
So that is still up there. And then there is also now, we went to Crawfordsville and recorded a video there. So I encourage you to go to our YouTube page and check that out. Or you go onto our website, Healthcare the Hoosier Way. I believe it's up there as well. So check that out. We're going to maybe try to do some more with that, putting it out there, make sure people remember about that as some of this mobile integrated health stuff comes in as well. So that's a good call out on that issue as well.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Did we play the last one on one of these episodes, or did we not?
I don't know if
maybe we could do a couple clips.
Maybe I think we can do that. Maybe especially if there's some of this legislation that's coming up that we want to highlight.
Yeah.
We'll also take some time to show the video. It's only going to be about like 5 minutes of your time.
Or we could do some pictures.
I don't know. We'll see. People like the moving pictures are fun. All right. Anything else?
Oh, Monday.
What's Monday?
So, sorry. 2 things.
Okay.
Well, we are meeting, although virtual, but our volunteer legislative team is back.
Yep, they are back.
And shout out, I know there were probably more individuals that were watching, but thank you, Julie, who watched the entire Judiciary Committee. Loved it. Thank you. But we'll be meeting with them on Monday, getting them all up to speed and ready, because they come with us every 2 weeks to the Statehouse. We do sometimes do intermittent virtual ones, especially during the winter season. You never know what the weather's going to be like. But why did I say that? Oh,
because we're meeting with them on Monday.
We're meeting with them on Monday, but then they will be in person with us on Monday, January 27th.
Yes.
So, but also Monday is all of the inaugural events. And actually throughout this weekend, there's a lot of inaugural events throughout this weekend. And then on Monday, it's actually the public inauguration for the governor.
Yep. Governor-elect Braun will be Governor Braun come Monday afternoon.
Yep.
Will be sworn in along with a couple of the other statewide office holders. It is, lots happening in the state of Indiana right now.
And probably on one of our episodes, we can kind of go through the structure, because I think a lot of folks, while you may know, it is also, excuse me, he restructured a lot of the administration and the way that it works and who's at the top and who, kind of trickles down. So maybe we can just give a little overview of that. Maybe put that on the screen.
It is quite the org chart that's been created. But yeah.
It's going to take us a little time, but.
Awesome.
All right, Amber, I think that's it.
I think that's enough for right now. There will be more later on. This has been great. It's good to be back.
I don't know.
For half of the people at this table. So it
is good to be back.
It's good to be back.
I just can't believe it's 2025.
Look, time is just flying by. I think we say that every year when we start this, but it's true. And the fact that we've been doing this as long as we've been doing it is also a small miracle / shocker. But I'm excited about this session as much as one can be excited about session. And we will see how it goes. You continue to do the great work, even on day 1 and day 2 of session. And join us on this journey, won't you? All of you out there. Listeners, watchers, join us on
and
this.
Don't forget to go to our website.
AARP.org/legislative things. You can find us on YouTube. AARP.org/IN.
That was actually the one.
Hit that one up.
Because I want them to sign up for the property tax event.
Sign up for that property tax event, and join us on the 22nd at 10 a.m. Eastern time. sorry, for my friends that are in the Central Time Zone.
Oh,
10 a.m. Eastern is when we'll be doing that. So yeah, join us for that. Just come along with us as we march through session as best that we can.
Okay.
Amber, anything else? Thank
No.
you so much for your continued work. Thank you for all of us for joining us again. Hopefully you stick around. I like to think that you will. And then we will see you next time on the Legislative Director talking about legislative things. See you then.